Welcome to Project Pack 6. This is day 2, and my name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria, and Rick is going to do a great tangle called a Ruckus on his page, and he chose one with a corner black that's kind of cool, and he's going to show us something a little different than the direction I went in.
Yes. So in this case, I'm going to use an '08 black micron, and a Ruckus begins with a orb in the middle, most often, and I'm going to make that, I'm going to use the white pen to make that center orb continuous. So I'm going to do something a little bit different here, that instead of making the black ink shift channels to white ink when it goes across the border between the stained part and the unstained part, I'm going to use I'm going to leave an empty space on the black to make it look like the black line is continuing around. So to begin, I'm just going to make this one great big white moon-like circle.
It does have sort of a surface of the moon look.
Right.
I love that.
Nice texture. So I'm going to aura that shape with the white jelly roll, again the '08 that came in the project pack, and it's going to make it look like that black line that was drawn on the white side is just continuing on. So it's going from positive space to negative space and back again.
It's funny. It makes it look like it's floating there, and
Right.
it was always there. Right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's just a different approach. And so now we're going to continue on, and a Ruckus is all about the aura. It's a wonderful tangle to do because once you get started, you just let it roll, and you turn your tile, you make an aura, and then you go back and forth between aura-ing that orb and aura-ing these like rays or spokes that come off it. And one of the neat aspects also of this is that I like to do is to keep the gaps between the auras somewhat similar. It creates a texture of this tangle.
So a Ruckus is a tangle that Molly designed, and she was on a phone call, a very long phone call at one point, and she was just kind of, fooling around while you're on the phone. And she came up with this tangle, and it was actually pretty cool. She started doing some different aspects of it and, different designs. And what to call it? Well, she had been talking to one of our wonderful people from Sakura, and she decided to call it a Ruckus, which is Sakura spelled backwards.
Right. So this is a Ruckus, and again, it's once you have these radiating elements in place, it's just back and forth with aura-ing, and then aura-ing the orb, and then aura-ing the spokes, then aura-ing the orb, back and forth.
It's a wonderful meditation because, you know exactly what you're going to do every time,
Right.
but you just have to pay attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, even if you don't pay really good attention, as I
as
did
you
in
did,
this,
yeah.
you'll see in a minute apropos of this project pack, made a mistake, and it was not intentional. I didn't realize it until it was done, and so it shows you how not only forgiving this is, but how easy it is to just move on through something that you didn't plan or expect to do.
I kind of look forward to seeing those things in people's Zentangle pieces because I love the humanness that it gives. Because a machine wouldn't make that mistake,
Right,
and
right.
I like the idea that we all have a life other than the moment, and sometimes we're distracted, and oftentimes the distractions are what will be the best part.
And that's sort of the theme of this project pack, is that as things happen that aren't expected, that it often is that really, okay, now what do I do with this? Because I didn't expect it. I'm no longer can just be on, cruise control. I need to look inside and come up with something that is a creative response to an unexpected scenario.
Well, what I like about being, embracing these opportunities that come along is that you won't be stressed out so much when you're drawing because you won't be worried about making a mistake because you know that either you can do something about it or you know how to get over that feeling that it's not perfect.
Or you know that you have done it in the past.
Right.
And once you've done it in the past, even on a tile, it's like, okay, I had a unexpected wish this hadn't happened moment, just like you had that moment with finding the ink all over your
Right,
book.
right.
And it's not like, okay, everybody goes out and pours ink on their precious books, but it's, okay, I've
Only
been there
we do
before. Right.
these
Well, yeah.
books.
Actually, it was really fun the way these got done. Was Molly got all these pieces of paper and actually spilled ink all over them,
And photograph that.
and then
Yeah.
we photographed those, and so this is a really good project. So you can see here, I forgot to switch back and forth between orb and spoke and orb and spoke, and I did 2 orbs, but hey, it's very forgiving. So it shouldn't be, don't think of it as like, oh, I got to start over. It's what do I do from where I am now? And that is that wonderful awareness of creative control. I don't know if it's control,
Yeah.
but creative ability to respond.
Yes.
It's like my play on the word of responsibility. It's you have a responsibility, that
Ability to respond.
that
Right.
ability to respond is just knowing that can be very
Empowering. Yeah.
empowering.
That's Zentangle for you. It's empowering.
Yeah.
And hopefully for you guys, like for us, it started creeping into our everyday lives. And all of a sudden, anything that would happen to us, we would have a way to deal with it that wasn't, anger or frustration or disappointment with yourself.
You get a creative response, and oftentimes, of course, without, being, it sounds so like Pollyanna-ish, but it so often is that the end result is far better than
Oh, absolutely.
if it
Yeah.
hadn't happened.
Yeah.
So there we are with all of the a little last touch over here. And I love how the shape of the orb auras change. And encourage you to take a look at the website. Just go to our website on zentangle.com and into the newsletter section and search for some of the examples of when we released this, a Ruckus, and also on the app. It's amazing what you can do with this. This is just like real basic stuff. So time for some graphite here. I'm laying it on pretty heavy. And in traditional Zentangle style, we're looking at adding graphite to add dimension and depth, not so much thinking about, well, the light's coming from the whatever direction. We're just doing the same side of each one of these radiating elements.
So we shade just like we tangle,
Yeah, it's like part of the pattern.
Right.
And then again with the tortillon. And the tortillon is really neat because not only does it spread it and push the graphite into the fibers, but it also picks up enough graphite that you can, like, use the tortillon as a device to add shading as well.
So, and it's also good in a book format because it pushes it into the paper
Yeah.
instead of going onto the facing page.
So again, always I try as much as possible to point the pencil and the tortillon towards the edge that I want to be most crisp. You can even add it on the white. I think adding it like Maria did on her other one on the white is very, very, it can be subtle, but the eye picks it up.
So adding white like this is kind of just a wonderful sparkle technique, you know, it just brings that center picture star even more out towards you, you know.
And it works, like you can see, it works on the white side, and you might not think of adding white on white, but going over the ink, just that little bit of highlight there to contrast with the graphite. Contrast is, sometimes the eye sees it even if you don't know that you're seeing it.
Well, it was awesome, Rick. I love it.
So we look forward to seeing what you do, and thank you for hanging out with us again.
Yeah.
And you can see you can go back and touch things up there.
Tidy it up.
Tidy it up.
Have a nice day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see you later, and thanks again. Bye.
Bye.